And this is what Congressman Paul Ryan predicts will happen to the unemployment rate in this country if we implement his magical Republican budget. Boink! The red line there. Really? The unemployment rate Paul Ryan says his magic Republican budget will create is 2.8%. Has unemployment in the United States ever been 2.8% in, say, the last 50 years? No, it has not. If the Beltway media could stop making out with Paul Ryan for long enough to look at what's actually in his budget proposal, they might notice that some of the important numbers in it appear to be made up. For example, that 2.8% magic unemployment projection, Paul Ryan got that from the Heritage Foundation. The Heritage Foundation then scrubbed its website to erase that figure once people started asking questions about it and pointing out that it was virtually impossible. The Heritage Foundation now says they have rerun part of their model for Mr. Ryan's budget to reassess that figure. The Heritage Foundation is also what Paul Ryan relies on to try to convince you that cutting taxes for the richest people in America, as he would do by 29% in his budget, how he would convince you that that would have magical effects. To understand the kind of magic we're talking about, Matt Iglesias today points out that the Heritage Foundation also ran the 2001 Bush tax cuts through their magic-making machine. In 2001, here's what the Heritage Foundation projected would be the effect of the Bush tax cuts on employment. Here's what actually happened. Boink. 1.6 million more Americans do not have jobs this year. About 1.7 million fewer do. This is the same magic that Paul Ryan is using in his Republican budget this year. It's the Heritage Foundation that told him that massively cutting tax revenue would raise tax revenue. Believe. Mr. Ryan also predicts that within 4 years, the housing market will be exactly where it was at the height of the housing bubble in 2006. Why? Dunno. Believe. He also wants you to believe that his plan to dismantle Medicare is actually a Democratic idea and therefore can't be extreme. He calls the killing Medicare part of his proposal the Ryan Rivlin plan, after Alice Rivlin, who worked in the Clinton administration. He wants you to think of her, a Democrat and a lady, when you think about his plan to kill Medicare. How does Alice Rivlin feel about Paul Ryan putting her name on this? Headline, Alice Rivlin, I don't back the Ryan Rivlin plan. The Congressional Budget Office, which is nonpartisan, which tends to produce actual numbers, they analyzed Paul Ryan's budget today. They found that it will actually make the national debt go up over the next 10 years. And by killing Medicare, the elderly in this country would be paying a much larger percentage of their income for health care. Dean Baker saying today that it would be a majority of their income. I doubt that actual numerically based, fact-based information will penetrate the smoochy love bubble surrounding Paul Ryan right now. He has done a remarkable job of romancing the Beltway media. There's this little cult of him being brave and bold and doing a very difficult workout every morning. But what Paul Ryan has just introduced is not a feature on grit versus glamour in today's GOP. It's the official Republican Party budget for 2012, and the numbers in it are so wrong they are occasionally funny. The Beltway media says Paul Ryan should be taken very seriously. Since this is the official Republican Party budget for 2012, taking him seriously should also include taking seriously his numbers, which in many cases make no sense.